Hi there, I'm Alan Lewis. I'm a technical evangelist at eBay. I'm no way involved with any official religious movement. Just wanted to clear that up. There's been some confusion around what sort of evangelist I am. I'm here to talk about eBay's web services. I don't care what religion you are. I'm not trying to change whatever it is. Sorry, I'm getting a weird echo here. My contact information, just FYI, you can search on Alan Lewis on any of your favorite search engines, and I should be near the top. Or you can go to my blog at alanlewis.typepad.com, which has my email address off of there. So feel free to contact me after the presentation or during if you get bored to chat about whatever. Web services, eBay, books, sports, whatever you want. But I'm here to talk about the fact that if you forget all the rest of the presentation, and you probably will, if you can remember this bit, I will have succeeded. And that is that web services provide great opportunities for innovative affiliates to make money. Hopefully you will leave here not only... Crap. That's okay. Test. I can be like a real evangelist here with a handheld mic. Yes, I know there's no internet connection. So if you leave here today remembering that statement and knowing what all the words mean, then I will have succeeded. Just want to get a sense for the audience here. How many of you are affiliates? Okay, go figure, you're at an affiliate conference. How many of you have heard of web services before? Good. So most of the same people who are affiliates raise their hand. How many people have never heard of web services before or are kind of sketchy as to what they mean? Really? Are you sure? It's no embarrassment if you raise your hand. Okay, fair enough. We'll test you at the end of the session. The pitch here, as I think you'll get the sense as I go through the presentation, is that if you are technical, or if you have the ability to find other people who are technical who will work for you, then you are at an advantage compared to other folks who aren't. And you can use your technical ability, or other people's who you pay, to come up with great ideas, great applications, great websites that can earn you money as an affiliate, whether it's with eBay or with some other person. I'm obviously going to be focusing on eBay because that's what I know. I didn't try to make this a pitch for eBay, although it will undoubtedly come off as that. But I want to emphasize up front that you can take away, you can take what you learn here and apply it to anybody that offers web services that also has a way for you to use them to make money, i.e. through an affiliate program. So again, that's the key message. So today I'm going to talk about first what the eBay affiliate program is. You may have already heard of it before, but I'll review some of the key highlights. And we have some newer stuff as part of the program that I want to highlight. I'll then talk about how affiliates can use eBay's API, which is another word for our web services, to do some of the things that they can do with it, to some of the different ways that they can use it to make more money. And then I'll give an overview to our web services, explain what our offering is. And then I'll focus on an exciting new product that we just announced last month at our developers conference called the eBay Ad Context. And then the final slide will just provide a bunch of links where you can write down those links to go off and learn more at your leisure. The eBay affiliate program is a community of developers, webmasters, entrepreneurs, innovators, people who have websites that get a lot of traffic, who get paid basically to promote eBay. The way that they get paid is by sending folks to eBay, and then those folks turn into people who bid and win an item on eBay, or they become an active registered user. Those two main classifications of ways that people that you send to eBay that then go and do those activities. You as the affiliate get a percentage of eBay's revenue on those closed transactions, or you get a fixed dollar amount as I'm signing up as an active registered user. So it's not a pay-per-click model, it's a pay-for-activity model. And the specific activities take place on eBay. The program has now been around for 5 years. It was launched in the US in 2001, and it's now in 25 countries worldwide. One of the figures that I can share around how much affiliates actually make, this is one stat that we have, is that the top 100 eBay affiliates globally average $500,000 a year. Obviously, the people at the very top make more, the people at the bottom make less, but it does average out to that amount. And I do know that there are people, outside of that group that, also make their living through this program. So it is, it's not a surefire way to make money. You have to be smart or you have to have traffic, but it is a real program with some real dollars behind it. So the rest of the presentation will focus on ways that you can take advantage of this program. So here's just some basic stats and figures around how much we pay out for these activities. Again, the two buckets, the active registered users and the monthly, the revenue share, the people who bid and win on items on eBay. These are actually prices that have changed recently to make it easier to get into the higher percentage tiers. It used to be, I believe, 35% at the bottom tier, and now it's 40%. So it's sort of flattened out the range of percentages. But the affiliates that we've talked to have been very happy with this change because most affiliates are, starting out, they're trying to get into the higher tiers, and this we wanted to help them get started, get into the higher tiers more quickly. I won't repeat the figures here, but you can see that there is real dollars behind this. The simple act of getting an active registered user on eBay, if you're doing just a few dozen a month, will get you $12 per user. It's not too bad. But you can see how if you have lots of traffic, if you have a great application, that you could actually get some real money behind converting this activity into eBay usage. I should also note that these are U.S. affiliate program numbers alone. The other international countries have their own programs that you have to sign up for individually. But typically, affiliates don't usually play very much internationally. It's more focused more on one particular country most often. So eBay's web services. Just want to give you an idea of this. eBay's developers program also started in 2001. The developers program supports our web services, not just for affiliates, but they are one of our largest sets of users within our developers program. It initially started because auction tools that were out there going back 98, 99, they built up, these folks were building these applications to basically screen scrape the site. So we didn't have any official way to work with eBay. So they would screen scrape and basically automate, have tools that automated that way. And we wanted to support this activity because they were supporting sellers who were listing more often, having a more effective business on eBay because of this. So we wanted to help them out and standardize the way that they interacted with eBay through XML. So we rolled out these web services in 2001 to basically give them a official way to work with eBay instead of having to reverse engineer how the site works. And this has been very successful. Now 47% of the listings on eBay are actually made through eBay web services, either because eBay's own tools like TurboLister use web services, or third-party tools like Channel Advisor, MarketWorks, Vendio, some of the third parties that support listing on eBay use eBay's web services to power their applications. Or if you're a large seller, you can use the web services directly to interact, to sort of make your own inventory system work with eBay. We have 30,000 members in our developers program, and those folks have created about 2,200 live applications. So and this has grown, exponentially for the last couple of years. It was something like 20,000 just last fall. So it's grown very quickly. And the total number of web services calls, this is the stat I have, in Q4 last year was 8 billion web services calls. And I have not seen any stats about anybody that comes close to that in terms of what people are willing to talk about. Now, that's the last I'll say about the seller-focused stuff for this presentation, because most of this stuff for affiliates is focused on buyers. How do you get more buyers to come to eBay? Because that's what our program is all about. So we started really rolling out buyer-oriented web services, I believe it was in 2003, when we first exposed our search call. It might have been before then, but I'm not too sure about that. Sean might know. Yeah. But something that's important is that as last fall, we made all of eBay's web services calls totally free. So you can make up to 1.5 million calls per day once your application is certified, and that's a free process to get certified. So if you're an affiliate out there building your application, in the past you would have had to worry about making sure that you were using only the few sets of calls that were free. Now all of our calls are free, so you can do a lot more innovative stuff with them without having to incur any cost for using our web services. So what do our web services offer? Well, there's search, listing items. This is just a few examples with some visual representations here. So you can sell your item through our web services. You can manage the transactions that come through, manage orders. You can manage all sorts of stuff about My eBay, getting your list of things you're bidding on, list of things you're selling. You can do all sorts of stuff with your eBay store, manage your categories, manage the look and feel of your store. You can get eBay store listings. You can manage feedback. So you can get users' feedback score. You can leave feedback for users. You can retrieve a specific feedback comment. You can get a user's watch list. You can add items. The whole thing, almost anything you can do on the site now, you can do through web services. And those areas that where we don't offer a web service today, we are looking at adding them. Now, I'm not going to dig into real guts of how our web services work, but I do need to give you a sense for what the architecture is. How does it work? It's very simple. You pass in data as XML into the web service, and you get data as XML out. The specific data that you pass in depends on the use case. So if you are doing a get search results call to get eBay search listings, you're going to pass in like a query in your XML. And I'll show you an example of this a little bit later on. And you'll get back a list of items formatted as XML. It all depends on the use case. And these use cases, we refer to them as calls. So each call has a name, whether it's add item for listing an item, get search results for getting search listings, get feedback for getting a feedback score. It's all very common sense names for these use cases. And if you know how eBay works, then it's very obvious what the calls translate to in terms of their functionality. We have a web services schema, which is basically a data format description that defines common data types that are used in these multiple calls. So once you start building up your application to work with our web services, if you have an item in one call, that's the core data type for eBay is an item, which is basically one listing on the site that describes like the title, the description, the price, the starting price. Once you integrate with that piece of data in one call, you can start to build out and use that integration in other calls as well. So it's a very well-structured data schema that we offer. Now, I'll come back to talk a little bit more about the web services, but I wanted to make sure to jump into the use cases very early on. So what are the things that you can actually do with our web services? This is probably stuff that might get you thinking about how you can go and make use of them. One of them is getting data. The headline here is knowledge is power, as you are probably very familiar with. So you as an affiliate, if you have more knowledge than someone else, or if you have better knowledge, then that puts you in an advantage to where you can turn that knowledge into revenue. You can use our web services to do this. This is a graphical representation of the sort of thing that you can do. It's actually a pre-built tool that uses, I don't know if it uses our web services, but it uses the same data sources that we offer to do keyword research. So we have a call, get popular keywords, that can get per category what the top 1,000 keywords are on eBay. And you can take that data and use it to build out your eBay tool, or not. You could do something totally different with it. But it helps you, figure out what's hot. What are the new trends? You can take that data and use it for paid search. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. So the calls that let you do this are, like I said, the Get Popular Keywords call. you can turn that data that you get there and use it to generate search results. So our get search results call, which is probably the main call that affiliates use. There's get related keywords, which is an upcoming call. I'm not sure when that's going to be released, but that obviously will help you take a keyword and get stuff that's related to it. There's get contextual keywords. I'll mention that's a supporting call that is part of the ad context platform. I'll talk about that more in a little bit. There's also access to historical data that you can get. Now this is not part of our standard web services offering. We have a third party called Data Unison, which is our data reseller, actually a company in Vancouver. So it's a paid service to get access to our historical data. But they've actually taken our data feed and built an API around it. They've done some great stuff there. And I definitely would encourage you to look into using their service if you're interested in getting eBay historical data. And I know that they have like a trial period where you can test out their API for a limited number of calls so you can see if it's worth your while to use it. So the API itself will give you access to a lot of data, and I would encourage you to see what sort of things we can provide you and be creative with it. Another one is content. So you can use eBay's web services to get content. You should know what what power of content gives you. It can help you, get indexed in search engines, which can get you traffic, which you can turn into revenue. So you can use the web services to get quality content. You know it's quality because you have to pay to get a listing on eBay. That's how we keep the quality of content on eBay, at a pretty high level, and that's how you know that the content that you're getting from eBay is quality. You also know that it's quality because we have standard product information that you can get from eBay as well. So this screenshot here has this great cinematic masterpiece, Dodgeball, a true underdog story, with its standard product description, all the standard data here that is eBay pays for that data feed and then exposes it for free through its web services. So you could use this for a shopping comparison site, to show eBay search listings along with other listings from other shopping engines. You're free to do that. There's some great examples of people who've done that. You can use it to build content sites that just try to get yourself indexed by search engines, and then take advantage of that traffic to get some revenue from. The key calls for this are the get search results call, get categories. There's also get category listings, which helps you get any number of listings in a given category. Get item, which helps you get complete data around any individual item. Once you have an item ID, you can get that from the search results call. And one of the takeaways is this is one of the largest sources of free content on the web. This used to say it's the largest source, but we weren't able to find any data to actually back that up. But I'm sure that it is one of the largest, if not the largest. Just another example here. So not only can you get actual product or item pages like the example you saw, you can also now generate RSS feeds. So this is a recent feature that we rolled out first for store listings, and then a couple months ago for search. So at the bottom of any search page on eBay now, you'll see an RSS button. And it's actually very valuable. So there's some search engines out there that have RSS feeds enabled, but for eBay, it's incredibly valuable because the data is changing all the time. So new listings come on, listings close, and you can customize your search to search only a particular seller. You can use all sorts of advanced search options to get pricing filters and location filters and everything. And almost all of that is supported through the RSS feeds that you generate. It's the same sort of search data you can get through our web services, but RSS is a very low technical bar, so it's a very low-tech option to get this sort of data. So it doesn't give you the same flexibility in the type of information that's shown. There's a standardized way that we format the feeds, but for a large percentage of the possible use cases, RSS feeds might fit the bill, and it's a lot easier to integrate with. Once you know how to integrate with one RSS feed, you know how to integrate with all of them. That's the great thing about RSS. So you can test it out on the site yourself, and I'll talk more about the way that you can get affiliate tags put in those RSS feeds, because that's another thing that we offer now. I'll show you a screenshot of how to do that. But again, you can use this content through an RSS feed as well. Here's an example of somebody that's done that through this browser. It's showing how the actual feed looks in a RSS aggregator. So another one is communications. So we've seen that a lot of instant messenger products, Yahoo Messenger, their latest one that just came out, has an eBay plugin installed in it. Instant messaging platforms are very interesting because they have a sort of real-time interaction. Now, I don't know how many of you have your own instant messaging platform that you manage. Probably not many. But it is something where there's definitely a growing opportunity. And I know that there are some third parties that have been able to get in with certain instant messaging platforms to integrate their own content. So I think that there is an opportunity here if you can come up with an innovative add-in to an instant messaging product that you can use eBay's web services or some other web service to do something clever, unique, fun. It's basically an opportunity where you don't have to build a whole complete application in order to get a user base. If it integrates well with the instant messaging tool, if it provides something unique, then there's, I think, an opportunity there. And I think instant messenger is just an example of that. But the general idea that you don't have to build a complete application, you don't have to build even a complete website. If you just build a small widget or a small plugin or add-in that fits into something that something big, like some big portal or some big tool like an instant messaging tool, there is opportunity there. And of course, you can use the eBay's affiliate program to turn that traffic that you would get as part of that tool into revenue for yourself. That would be the business model, the business reason why you would spend time using these tools. Again, the key call is, again, get search results, and then integrating with whatever API the instant messenger tool itself provides. Mobile is another one that I think is definitely big and upcoming. I don't think that anybody has built the killer mobile application, period. If they have, I don't know about it. And definitely, nobody has built the killer commerce application for mobile. So there's definitely opportunity here. Mobile offers a lot of great advantages. The fact that there's presence information, that there's possibility around there. The fact that the user is much more likely to be around their mobile phone at any given hour of the day. We have a great example of a third party called Unwired Buyer, who built, it's not strictly tied to mobile, but it makes sense most for mobile. You can sign up for the service, and it's free. And they will call you on your phone whenever an item on your eBay watch list is ending in 3 minutes. And it'll allow you to actually bid on the phone using the touchtone keypad to actually bid on the item if you would like to do that. So you don't have to run back to your computer and bid on it, and you don't have to sit around your computer all day waiting for your auction to end. It basically frees you up from having to be at your computer. And eBay actually signed a deal with Unwired Buyer where we're going to brand that as eBay Wireless or something. I forget what it's called, eBay Alerts or something, eBay Mobile Alerts. We announced this at our conference last month. And they're actually getting paid through the affiliate channel. That's how they're making their money. So it's a great example of an innovative application using our web services that they figured out a great business idea, they had expertise in that area, and they went after that opportunity, and it's a big win for everybody. Some of the key calls here, again, get search results and place offer. It's been a long time that we've been trying to sort of roll out this feature, the ability basically to bid through our web services APIs. There's obvious lots of trust and safety issues around that, a lot of security connotations. So it's been something we've been taking a very slow rollout of that. We have only a few trusted third parties that have access to it today, but we're trying to standardize a pilot program so we can roll it out more broadly to different users. So there's definitely opportunity in the mobile market as well. So widgets and other platform integrations is another area of opportunity. So we expose the whole platform for free. And building stuff for other platforms, whether it's the desktop, television set, desktop search, web widget portals like Google Personalized Homepage or Live.com, there's definitely opportunity there for affiliates to build innovative applications. Again, whether it's for eBay or for some other web services vendor. There's a visual example here of a search application that this guy in the UK built for eBay. Basically, if you're familiar with Apple Dashboard, basically it's a set of mini applications that you can use on your Mac without having to open up a full application window. And this mini application gives you access to search eBay within the widget itself. So you don't have to open up a full browser window to search eBay. You can just hit a keystroke and then do a very quick eBay search all within this widget, and then another keystroke and it goes away. So it's a very interesting, lightweight sort of concept, and it's a great use case. And the way that this guy makes money is through the fact that these links are have his affiliate ID, so he gets part of the revenue on any of the winning bids that come through this application. So it's a very simple idea, and even better if folks can come up with so this is good. I mean, this is the eBay search widget, but then again, eBay has its own search engine that's pretty good, and its own search interface on the site. Even better is coming up with features that eBay doesn't have on its own site. All the more reason to go and use this application rather than going to the eBay site is to mix this data with some other data. The sort of things that I would love to see more of is just like fun buying applications. Part of the thing about eBay that people love is the quirky and unique stuff. The tie-ins with popular culture. Whenever there's an American Idol on, seeing all the items related to American Idol. Wouldn't it be great to have a little mini application or a website that let you search, or just give you some unique interface, not even search. So you don't even have to do that. You download or you go to a web page and you use this application and it shows you eBay items related to in real time with whoever's on American Idol. Just something like that. You can use the web services to do those sort of ideas, to take filters of information or mix and match it in the ways that you really think will interest users. So that's really the intent. Is we don't think that we're going to come up with all the great ideas to put on the eBay site. We want to open it up to everyone to do those sorts of things. Okay, so just a few slides on getting some more details on how the web services actually work. If you don't need to know any of this stuff. It doesn't matter if you don't know this. You can go back to the website later and learn more about it. But I just wanted to highlight, go into a little bit more depth here. So we offer some different flavors of web services. We offer both SOAP and XML. Both these flavors, I call them flavors or web services. They all use the same calls. They all offer the same calls. Just the SOAP and XML variants format them a little bit different. They both go over a secure connection because there is some private data that's passed back and forth, like if you're getting a user's account information, like their eBay fees. That's one of the calls we offer. That's something that you'd want to be secured. And they go over an HTTP post. Now, we have another option called our REST API. It's something that's relatively new. It doesn't go over a secure line, and also goes over HTTP GET. What that means is it's easier to integrate. So if you're building a tool or a widget, it will almost certainly support our REST API, whereas it may not support the other kinds. Our REST API does not support all calls, and it probably never will because of it's not a secure model. So it wouldn't be appropriate to pass back and forth any private information over it. It also today is only it only supports publicly accessible information. So the sort of information you could get from eBay.com without having to sign in. It's the same sort of information that you would get using the REST API. So get search results is there today. You can imagine a get categories or get item call in the future. And there's other calls that we're going to be rolling out in the near term as well. Here's how an actual call looks. So, put a pointer here. So this is the actual body of a request XML document that you would send in. This is via the XML API. Some of the things to see here. The name of the call is specified here in the root node. The authentication information. So each call contains an authentication token that identifies the eBay user you're making the call on behalf of. If you're making a call that's not user-specific, it doesn't matter who the user is. But let's say you're making a My eBay call, then you have to have gotten that user's permission to make a call on their behalf. And there's a whole flow whereby you can get this token. It's all described in the docs, and I won't go into detail here. But in this case, I'm just doing a search, so it doesn't matter. I just have a token that identifies who I am to eBay. And then the only data that I'm passing in for this case, this is the most simple case, is the query. And each call has its own set of tags that are allowed in the body of the call, in the request. So here I'm searching on iPod Nano. And here is the same call that's made via the REST API. So with the REST API, you pass in the data in the actual URL. You're not passing in an XML document. You're actually just doing a GET, so it's just in the URL, and you pass in using name-value pairs. So here, a request token equals ABC123, and here the same sort of thing, query equals iPod, and then I have to escape the space because it's in the URL, iPod Nano. So key here is, Sean says the wireless network. I can give you a live demo if everything goes well in a little bit. So thank you, Sean, for that. So the key thing here is these two calls, get search results, are formatted in different ways, but it's the same data that's being passed in, just it works slightly different. And here's the response. It's the exact same response for both. You get passed back an XML document. And here's some of the key things to highlight. So the get search results response is here in the root, and then it'll contain 0 or more items, depending on how many items are on your search. Each page of the response for this call can return up to 400 items, and you can specify what the minimum and maximum that get returned, so you don't have a huge file or a huge response to deal with. But here's just an example of one particular item and what the sort of data you can get. There's the item ID, there's the bid count, the current price. You can also get a gallery image, so a little thumbnail image that goes along with the item. You can get the title. So you can imagine, here's the raw data that you get. You can take this data and do whatever you want with it. So, an eBay search page, specifies exactly how the look and feel of each search result. But you could take this and you could choose to display certain fields or not. You could take this and combine it with other calls, given an item ID that allows you to get more information on any specific item. The call allows you to do sorts of things like pass in a zip code and only return items that are close to me. So you can imagine taking that sort of search and combining it with a map to put search items on a mapping application. There's all sorts of options that can give you more fine-grained, the ability to do more fine-grained searches, and then you can take the data and do whatever you want with it. Okay? So that's the basics of how the API works. Once you know how to make one call, you know how to make pretty much all of them. So I'll give a URL to the developer program website at the end of the presentation where you can go and learn more. Back to RSS for a little bit. So again, it's a very low-tech API. So you just saw, walk through how the search results, the get search results call works. The REST API gives you the same sort of information, although it doesn't allow you the same sort of flexibility in terms of how the data gets formatted. It basically, if you know how RSS works, RSS defines the schema for an RSS feed across the board. So eBay has its own schema for its web services, but RSS is standardized. So across Yahoo and eBay and anybody else who has a feed, my blog, the RSS feed is going to look exactly the same. It'll have like a title and a content or a body of each feed item, and there will be certain information about the feed at the top. So we don't specify sort of how the feed works. But we do choose what information to put in the body of the feed. So I would really just encourage you to go look at an eBay search page and click the RSS button and see what sort of the information looks like. Try putting it in your RSS reader, and you can start to get some ideas about things you could do with it. The feeds actually render very well in some certain in the feed reader, depending on how well they interpret the HTML in the feeds. But one key is the way that you enable affiliate links in the feeds. So you can build a feed and put your affiliate ID in there. So that if you take that feed and then put it on, make some deal with a publisher or something, or if you have traffic on your site, you can convert those clicks that turn into activity into revenue. So the way you do that is click Advanced Search options on the page, and then towards the bottom there will be this subsection called Affiliate Tracking Information. So click Show, and it'll expand here. Commission Junction is our affiliate partner. They manage all the account management and payout for our affiliate program. So you'll get a Commission Junction ID there. You may already have one. A lot of you probably already do. So that's where you put in that ID. It gets you, basically identifies you in the link so that you get the payout. Now let's go try and look at a few example websites. So bear with me just for a few moments here while I see if the wireless connection is working. You can talk amongst yourselves. No? It's okay. Nope, no wireless networks found. Luckily, I have preloaded some of the URLs so I can show you some of what they would look like. And I can do some hand waving and you can imagine what they look like. So. Okay. So what you're looking at right now is Verizon Super Pages while I try to enable the wireless connection. This is actually one example of one of the these search comparison sites. So Verizon has a, oh, here we go. Yes. Well, that's hopefully working. So Verizon, if you go to superpages.com, click on the shopping tab and then do a search. One of the places where you'll get search items from is from eBay. So you get them from classic retailers, and then you'll have eBay items as well, including auction and fixed price items. So I did this search earlier, so you can see, I can compare, getting a Nano here versus, oh, there's some auction here, it was 2 minutes left. Great, I can go and bid on it. So here, the way they did this is they got this, let me see if this is working again. Yeah, so I refreshed it and notice, the items changed. There's always changing information here. So actually, that looks really interesting. The iPod Mini, see, you can get an iPod Mini on eBay, but you can't get iPod Minis anymore from most other vendors. So it makes sense, the inventory on eBay is incredibly broad. It's very deep. It has auctions as well as fixed price items. So it makes sense as to why, if you're a shopping comparison site, you'd want to have eBay as one of your search results. You get the same thing on Earthlink, has a big shopping part of their website. I know shopping.com, which actually eBay owns now, has eBay items in there as well. So this is definitely an emerging thing. Does anybody own a shopping comparison website out there? No? Yes? So integrate eBay items. That's good. What's the website that you own? I've not heard of that, but maybe it'll be the next big thing, and we'll all be using it next year. Okay. So the next example, and I'm glad that the connection's working, is, so I can take credit for coming up with the URL for this. This is dudewhere'smyusedcar.com. I didn't build the application, but I came up with the URL. My boss built the application. So what this is a mashup. You might have heard that term before. It's basically combining two or more web services to create a new application. A mashup of eBay Motors and Google Maps. So this is like the mapping sort of use case that I mentioned before. So if I select a vehicle here, let's do like a BMW 5 Series. Somebody give me a zip code. Anybody? 80538. And where is that? Colorado. Okay. 38? Oh, sorry. I don't know if that's a real zip code. Oh, apparently it is. So I click search after putting in all information, and I get eBay listings. So I click on a listing here, and I'll actually go and use the map to show me where it is. So I can say, oh, this one looks like it's really close to me. It's just 55 miles away, $20,000, great. So let's say I want to use car on eBay. I want to be on W5 Series. I don't want to have to go all the way across the country. This is a great use case for using eBay's web services, because eBay doesn't have a mapping feature on its website today. So it's just an example of how you can take the web services and do really cool, unique stuff with it. And it's a great URL too. Here's another example. This is mycollectibles.caboodle.com. And this is just an example of where Caboodle is like a site for collectors. They can put their collection up. They can see other people's collections. But they've actually integrated eBay functionality in a couple ways. So there's sort of like a content site. So they have the content that's generated by users, their collectible items. And then they have integrated an eBay link here. We actually have a deal with them to build this site. So they didn't affiliate enable these links. But they could have built this all on their own and then use the affiliate channel to get revenue. So if I click for sale on eBay, it'll go and look at this item that somebody has put in their page. They also use, this is an example of using eBay's affiliate product called, current version is called Editor Kit, the new version is called, Add Context, to show eBay listings within, as a sort of like a sidebar or another part of the site. So this actually is affiliate-enabled links. So you can see here what those look like. So if I go and click on this item here, it'll take me to that particular item on eBay. I don't know where else on the web you can get a rusted web license plate. But you can get it on eBay. Okay. The other example I wanted to show you is let me just refresh this page here. So this is one of the sort of online widget portals that I mentioned earlier. This one is called live.com. Have anybody heard of this? This is Microsoft's newish portal site. And this is actually something that we've been working on for a while. I started just doing this for a talk I gave at a Microsoft conference back in March. I needed something to talk about, so I worked with a couple guys at eBay to build this cool shopping widget. So it's basically allows you to try to hold this microphone here. An eBay search, give me a search term. Anybody? License plate? Okay. So it's very fast, if you notice. So I can search for license plates on eBay, and I can see, what's ending. So this one has one bid, there's 1 minute left. There's a Brittany black vanity license plate. Yeah, these are real time. Yeah, so it allows me to search within my portal environment without ever leaving it, and it has the added benefit of being incredibly fast. It's fast for a few reasons. One, it's only returning data as needed. And two, it's only doing 8 search results per page instead of eBay does like 50. So it's customized for this environment, and you get the added benefits of, yes, I know. I have an internet connection now, so it's complaining at me. So it basically, I can pick and choose the data fields that I need for my use case, and it makes an application that's really great for this environment. Other stuff that's cool is you can do any of the eBay sites. So eBay's web services work across, I think it's 20 plus sites. It's 23 is the latest number, including all of our biggest markets: Germany, China, France, Italy, UK, all those sites, Canada. So I can take this is cool. I can search eBay China in French. Okay, let's do this. So I can research? I don't know. And then the listings will come back. See here, so this is an item on eBay China, and it's listed in 300 yuan, and all these strings are in French. And if I click on the item, you'll actually see, I mean, iPod player is universal. It is on eBay China. Don't ask me why someone would be doing this, but they can. And that's cool. Okay. So it's endless fun to play around with this sort of stuff. So you can try out this widget yourself if you go to microsoftgadgets.com and click on the gallery. It's one of the eBay widgets listed in there. You can also find out about it on my blog that actually have a link to it. It's alanlewis.typepad.com. This whole presentation is to get more traffic to my blog. This eBay thing's just a day job. Okay. Back to some more information. So eBay ad context. This is announced at eBay's Developers Conference in June, just a month ago. We have a beta of this that's starting very soon. And for more info, I'd recommend searching on eBay ad context. I won't give you a URL here because you won't remember it. I'll give some URLs at the end. But you can get more information. There's a page that we've put up for it. You can find out more about it. It's basically contextual ads for eBay. And I'm very excited the fact that it's not just a standalone product, but it has open APIs as well. And that, I think, is probably unique in the contextual ads space. So you probably know what contextual advertising is, but in case you don't, contextual ad is a targeted advertisement that dynamically appears on a website based on the content or context of the site. And the contextual ad system, like ad context, will scan the text of the website for keywords and then return ads based on those keywords. So that's the story. So what does ad context do? So it helps you monetize your site by displaying eBay listings, basically. So these are some of the options of the way that the ads can appear. So we have some pretty cool options. We have a flash variant, as well as, so this is the default. So graphical, so pictures plus titles and prices and time left. And then you can customize this as well, to, look and feel, colors, what items are shown. You can make it contextual or not. Some contextual vendors have exclusive rights, so you can't run more than one contextual engine or ad engine on your site, so you can turn off the contextual if you need to, although we hope that the contextual will convert better. You can get it text only. And the Flash one is very cool. They also have a search box. I don't remember if it does search within the widget or not, but that would be one thing that you could build yourself if you wanted to, do something like the search widget that I showed. So you can do all sorts of customization, and then you place the, like most of the ad network widgets out there, place the JavaScript code on your website, and it basically appears automatically. So here's some examples, just types of ways you could use it. So this is a sports example. It's kind of a tacky example, but this is a story on Kirby Puckett dying. And you can get eBay items related to Kirby Puckett put right in context on the page, or related to baseball. Or if you're on a page of music, you can get music-related items, electronics and fashion. iPod is there in both cases, but for the fashion case, you might get purses or shoes on the in the items that get returned there. It would all, of course, be based on the keywords on the site, would then generate searches that are run that return items in the ad context widget. So it's a very simple idea, but we hope it would be very powerful. And we're going to obviously learn through the beta process how well it converts, what we can do to roll it out. I think we're shooting for this fall to roll it out to everybody. So we're pretty excited about that. But I'm even more excited about the fact that we have the platform that ad context, the product is built on, is itself open. So we have this call called Get Contextual Keywords. You basically put in a URL to the call, and it will pass back relevant keywords. It's a very simple idea, and it's very cool. And it uses the same back-end system that ad context, the product, uses. So you put in the URL and an optional category hint to make it even more relevant. And it will return a set of ranked keywords and categories. So I think typically like 10 or so keywords and then 4 or so categories. It will give you a ranking. So let's say on my blog, when I ran it, the top keyword was, I think, iPhoto, because I'd written some article about iPhoto. So they found that that's a keyword on eBay that actually converts well. So that was returned as one of the ranked keywords. The ad context of the product is, one reason why it's cool is it's based on, we have all the data eBay does about how well keywords convert. So the keywords that we return, one of the things that weights what keywords to return is how well does that keyword actually convert on eBay. So over time, as we learn more and more, we're going to send even better keywords to the network of people who are using this. So we won't return garbage keywords if they don't convert into any actual traffic. So it's better for eBay, it's better for the affiliate, it's better for everyone to return more and more relevant results based on keywords that convert well. So it is in beta right now. I would encourage you to go sign up for the beta. It's still open for applications. Not only for the product, I mean, there's a lot of people who sign up for the product, but also for using the API call as well, the Get Contextual Keywords call. We're looking for people who have innovative ideas around what they might want to try doing with this call. And it's a much harder sell because you have to explain to people what a web service is and how you'd use it. The response for the product, I think it's been pretty big. We've had, so far not as many people signing up for the API beta, but that's something is I think an even bigger opportunity in the long run. Demo, I didn't have time to put together a demo because the network wasn't working. So you can, sorry. You can go back to my blog later, and I will definitely blog it there first. There's an employee preview that's opening this week, so you should see it there in a few days. But here's where you go and sign up. Sign up at affiliates.ebay.com for eBay's affiliate program. They will also have links to Commission Junction, where you can sign up for Commission Junction if you haven't already. And then you can access the various affiliate-related tools via eBay's site. And then here, this is the last slide, so I'll leave this up. The pitch is to try one link on your site. And actually, I would encourage you to try ad context once that comes out, because that'll probably convert a lot better. But try it out, see how it works. If you have a site that gets traffic, give it a try. And you can go sign up at affiliates.ebay.com. You can sign up for the eBay developer program at developer.ebay.com, or you can search for eBay Web Services Quick Start on your favorite search engine. That'll get you to an easy 3-page. Actually, it's one web page that'll sort of walk you through each and every step of how to get started with eBay's developer program. Here's some other links up there. We have a few minutes for questions. Does anybody have any questions? No? Sean.
You had a slide up there about ACRUs and rev share. So as an eBay affiliate, how do I get paid? What exactly is an ACRU and what exactly is the rev share on?
I'll let you answer that question, Sean. So in ACRU, so there's certain bars, and don't quote me on the exact nature of it, but I think when you send a user to eBay, if that user hasn't signed up for eBay before and they actually sign up on eBay, if they then have some activity within the next 30 days, I think they have to bid on an item. They don't have to win an item, but as long as they bid, that counts as an active user. So then you'll get the credit for basically helping to create that new active user on eBay. And then the rev share is much easier to understand. It's simply if the user clicks onto eBay and they bid on an item and win within 30 days, 7 days, thank you. If you were the last active affiliate that sent them to eBay, you will get credit for that rev share. So that was a good.
And the revenue is based on eBay's listing fee?
Right, so eBay has a listing fee for each item, and then a close item called the final value fee. So eBay ends up getting some percentage, it's like less than 10% usually, of the overall price of the item. So let's say an iPod player sells for $150. eBay's revenue, let's say it's $10, just to be easy. So use the affiliate, if you're in that 40% bucket, then you'll get $4 because of that. So it's serious money. Obviously, not every click turns into dollars. Some of them will be no money. Some of them will be a fair amount. It's all based on if that converts into actual activity. That's a good question. Anybody else? Nobody wants to ask me about Google Checkout? No? I'm not allowed to talk about Google Checkout. So I can tell you that eBay does have a partnership with Yahoo that they announced. You can actually, there's some good information that's in the press releases that came out. I think it was like a month or two ago. And the press releases talk about the ways in which we're partnering with Yahoo. I think I'm not too familiar with the ins and outs of it, but I know there's a payment aspect around, PayPal being Yahoo's preferred or maybe even exclusive way to pay for certain services. And then there's, deals with Yahoo being, so Yahoo search results will be included on eBay in some form, yet to be decided. They're going to be testing various forms over, towards the end of the year. So the press release actually contains very good information on terms of the timeline and the main areas of focus. But it definitely is a big deal. I'm very excited to be working with them. I think that is another part of it. So eBay listings already are on Yahoo Shopping, as an example. I think it involves some better integration, some expansion. I'm not sure about the details, but that is part of it. Anybody else? Yeah.
So, the new editor kit and the create a keyword link things, they're not too sophisticated when you use the web form. Maybe I skipped a step because I didn't get deep into developer.ebay.com, but I just referred to hand coding inside those links. So if I wanted to search with parentheses, I got percent 48, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just wondering, is there one place I can go for a list of the codes that I can put in?
You like sort of advanced ways. So the question was about sort of advanced usage of eBay's editor kit, which is what add context was called before. So the product name is changing first to add context. So name editor kit's going away. Thank God, it was a horrible name. I love this name. It's much better. That's a good question. I can basically give feedback to the team that something like that would be useful. I don't know if they've thought about it. Definitely, as part of positioning this as an open platform, that would definitely be supported as much as we can. I don't know that we have put together a sort of advanced URL list yet. Sean's nodding his head no. But we can definitely look at putting that together. You do it for it? Hey, I'll give you my business card after this. Anybody else? I have like 30 seconds left. Thank you very much for your attendance, and feel free to come up and talk to me after the show.